Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to today's developer live stream. My name is Rick Taylor. I am the Senior Community Manager here for Hunt Showdown, and thank you all for stopping by today. So today we're here to talk you through our brand new event starting tomorrow, Traitor's Moon. And as always with our event streams, we have some of the usual suspects with us. First off, Senior Monetization and Live Designer Ksenia. And as well as that, as always, again, live game designer Anton. Guys, welcome to the stream. Again, how are you doing today on this fine eve of Traitor's Moon?
And thank you, Rick, for introduction. I hope you will enjoy our upcoming event, and especially you will be like very much like to what you will hear today about the details about the upcoming event.
And Anton, how are you, mate?
Hi, Rick. Hi, chat. Doing great. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah. Well, before we go, just a couple of things we should touch on. So, I want to bring it up, seeing as though we're actually on stream and there's a bunch of you watching us now. The console update went for 1.8, went out earlier on today, but we have noticed that there is a bug with the sensitivity settings, okay? We are looking into this. We are going to try and get this as sorted as soon as possible. So keep an eye out. We're going to get it sorted quickly for you guys, okay? So just wanted to start it off with that. But with that, we should just probably head on over to the event stuff. Now, just so you guys know first, Ksenia and Anton are not the only ones joining me today. We actually do have two other people that are going to be joining us a bit later on. Dennis is not with us, one of them, but somebody else from the game design team, because I see a bunch of you asking for Dennis. Dennis, if you're in the chat, say hello to everyone, please. Hello. And yeah, so later on, we're going to be talking with somebody from game design and somebody from the narrative design team. So we're going to be talking a little bit more about the story side of Traitor's Moon and Mr. Sherry. So with that, we'll head on over to the presentation. And yeah, so like I said, with the stream rundown, we're going to do the overview. We're going to go through the new weapons and event unlocks, and then we're going to have a bit of a chat about Mr. Sherry and Traitor's Moon with our narrative team, or at least one of the members of our narrative. But with that, we'll start off with Traitor's Moon overview. So as everyone has probably seen from our announcements already, the event starts on tomorrow on the 24th of March and will run until the 14th of April. Now, with this event, we have a couple of things lined up. So, Ksenia, Anton, I'm going to let you two talk about the new things that are coming here with this event. So first up.
So for this event, we prepared something special for you. First of all, with this event, you will get two brand new weapons. As you can see, it's mentioned on the screen that it is early access, and we will talk about that very soon. But that's not the only thing. Beside that, we also will have two brand new variants, also in the early access, and 4 new legendary weapon unlocks.
So we have a lot coming with this event, a lot, and like we said, the new weapons are probably one of the biggest things, and we have a lot to talk about with them. But the weapons specifically, we'll go into a little bit later with the game design guys. We'll follow on with kind of what else is kind of coming with Traitor's Moon, because we have a few things here that are a little bit extra, something we haven't really done with the events before. So first off, we have a new addition, which is story unlocks. So with the event itself, is as you're progressing through the event, you will unlock parts of a story that we have created based on Mr. Sherry and his outings here with the Traitor's Moon event. There's going to be 15 parts in total. So if you want to catch up and read up on all the parts, you'll have to progress through the entire event. We also have a new event-specific trait coming. So this will be something that is going to, I believe, continue even after this event. It is something new that we're bringing in just to give that extra little bit of something to help people along through their progression. And then finally, we have some extra bonuses. Now, probably like, what are you on about? Extra bonuses? Well, we'll go into that a little bit more, in a bit more detail in a while. So, anything to say before we switch on and show everybody the latest event screen?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. So here is the Trader's Moon event screen. Here is what you're going to be greeted with when the event starts tomorrow. As you can see, similar to the last event, the point total is 10,000. And you'll notice there's a lot of weapon unlocks, some ammo unlocks, a couple of legendaries, and some cherry contracts. And you might also notice as well some blood bond unlocks that come with some of them. So, I mean, everyone knows what this screen looks like, but thought we'd show you anyway. But Anton, Senya, yeah.
But there is like one thing you can see that this screen looks a little bit more empty than it is usual. There are a few reasons for that, and one reason I'd like to keep it as a secret, so you can go there, play the event, and see like what this screen will reveal to you.
Yes, it's a good thing I haven't really taken any proper pictures of the full screen, but we will show some parts of it. But yeah, we want you to go and at least find something yourself. So,
Can I also quickly add there, since you mentioned this, that blood bonds are finally back into the event progression, because I also want to bring the good news.
Yes. That is definitely good news. I know that is something that we have been asked quite a lot over the last few months, and with the last few events, it wasn't a thing. But yes, that is correct. Along with the boost contracts, there is an extra 100 blood bonds added as a reward. So at each one of those where you get the boost, you also get 100 blood bonds. So it'll help you towards whatever legendary you want to buy. So yeah, so with that, then we just quickly go through this. I mean, the main premises of the event is quite the same as what they have been previously. You collect event points, you unlock, and there's nothing too extraordinary or out of the ordinary with this event. Now we know we have gotten some feedback that it can be a bit samey, so we wanted to just let you know that we do have plans in the future for changing up and mixing up the events a little bit. I don't think we can go into too much detail on it right now, but we are going to be doing some different stuff. So, Senya, Anton, I'm pretty certain there's nothing really more we can say other than that. But if there is anything you'd like to add, please do.
Well, I don't know. We can jump to the event points.
Yeah,
basically. So cool. I can explain something.
Yeah.
So for this time, as you can see on the screen, we again rebalanced the point sources a little bit. And currently there are a lot of posts about that. With these destroyable objects and other stuff, we are kind of it becomes kind of repetitive, and so. But I don't know, some of you might notice that with the previous event and the event before that, we actually started to move slowly towards more core gameplay features, core goals that you need to do in a mission. So with the effigies that we currently have with this event, I would consider them as additional source of event points. Yeah. But basically what we're trying to do is to focus even more on the core gameplay part from the our meta gameplay part. And because of this, we basically added a new source of points that was never presented in these events before. Now you can get 30 event points if you extract with at least one bounty. Please notice that the bounty, they are not stackable, so you can get 30 points no matter how many bounty you have. Either if it's one or four of them, you will get just 30 points.
Cool. Yeah, that's actually the first thing I was going to ask you. Actually, was what did that stack? Because we've been asked. So no, that's good to know. So yeah, like you said, we're just trying to do a bit more of focus on the objective itself. You know, the clues, the PvP, getting out with the bounty. So I mean, like you said, this was a lot of feedback we've gotten through a lot of the last few events. So you know, we're trying to make sure that we don't just do things. We do actually listen to what you guys say. But so as you can see, I mean, the points have been up there for a while. You probably see them already. But just to give you an idea of what it is you're going to be smashing around when you do find them, the big ones are the Orwellian effigies. The kind of 3 tumbleweed ones are classed as the small Orwellian effigies. And then the other one, the tiny little tumbleweed thingy, is the effigies that drop from the boss. And yes, I did call it a tumbleweed thingy. I don't know the technical term, or we're just going to make it the technical term from now on. So
Maybe later Brie will educate you how to properly call them
yes,
from the narrative perspective.
Yes, that's actually good thinking out of you, Xenia. Good thinking. So so that's how you earn event points this time. So we'll just while we continue, we'll go through a quick overview of what you can actually unlock. So you'll notice first off, within the first 3 unlocks, you're unlocking the 2 new variants that we spoke about, the Scotfield Brawler and the Berthier Riposte, which we've been cheeky enough to slip into images everywhere over the last couple of months, and only a handful of people noticed. But, so we've got these 2 brand new variants, which we mentioned at the start, are 2 of the early access options. The Caldwell new Model 2092, the new army, never before seen weapon, was never on test server or anything like that, so no one's ever tried it out or anything. And obviously, that's a joke, but and the Winfield 93 Slate. So as you see, with the basically the start of the event is about getting you those weapons as soon as you can within the first half at least. As we said, with the contracts, you have the 2-hour boost contracts with the 100 blood bonds. And then after that, it goes through the ammo types for each of the 2 new weapons. So we have the FMJ and the Dum Dum and the FMJ from the Caldwell, Penny Shot and the Slug for the Winfield, and then the 4 other legendary skins. So, and we'll go through those skins a little bit later on in the stream. So the next thing, as we all know, has become synonymous with our events, Shari contract. And as you may have noticed, Shari's been mentioned an awful lot, and he plays a bit more of a part in things this time around than just giving people an extra boost. So first off, anyway, you'll see in store in the events page, the contracts page as usual. So we have the same 4 ones that we've had: the implied, the fixed, the express, and the binding. I believe it's like 2 hours, 7 hours, 3 days.
24.
24, sorry.
2 hours, 24 hours, 3 days, and 7 days. The duration as for previous event, all these metrics as range, boost, points boost, and range, dark side, event vision boost, the same. The thing is, like, I'm already looking at the many questions that, like, if contracts will be automatically applied from the event progression when they purchase. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. They will be automatically applied, but also to compensate maybe some frustration that we heard from previous events. That's basically the reason why we add the reward on the progression track together with the contract blood bonds. So basically, this unlock should be treated as you're working towards like your reward, which is a blood bond, and on top you're getting the contract that up to you as a player if you want to use or not, but it will be applied automatically.
Yeah. So that's pretty much everything with the contracts. I mean, there's nothing out of the ordinary or overly new with them. You still get your boost, you still get your points, you still get the time, and as you can see, the prices are there as well. But the next thing, though, just to show you about in terms of the store, is actually the Traitor's Moon event bundle.
That's also something similar to what we had for winter event. Traitor Moon boost bundle will contain one of the contract, 1,000 event points, and legendary skin for Choke Bomb Cicada. So basically, it's a like starter or progress pack if you want to progress faster or run out of time. You can purchase this bundle, and it will grant like all this all these things simultaneously. Also, it's worth to mention that bundle can be purchased like in any time, no matter where you are at the progression. This 1000 event points will be automatically added there and will unlock like everything what's on the way there. Also worth to mention that all these 3 items inside the bundle, so 1000 event points, Cicada skin, and Cherry Fix contract for sure, obviously, they can be purchased separately. So if someone doesn't like bundle, can purchase and need only choke bomb skin, the choke bomb skin can be purchased separately. The same with the 1000 event points, and obviously with the contract. Contract can be constantly repurchased during the event. One important thing to mention, then 1000 event points can be purchased only once. So it's not something that someone can just like click with Bloodlines and complete the event. No, it's one-time purchase. It's either purchased together with the bundle and then this item becomes unavailable in the event store, or can be purchased once separated, but then bundle becomes unavailable as well.
Cool. That's a lot of info. Thank you very much for that, Sane. That's awesome. So so I think they're the kind of the main things that we need to go over on that side of things with the events. So the next up, though, we should talk about the early access weapons. So like we said at the start, we've got 2 brand new variants and 2 brand new weapons that have never before been seen. So yeah, 4 brand new weapons that are unlocked through the event progression, like we showed earlier on. These weapons cannot be purchased until they are unlocked. So you have to unlock it through the event, and then it'll be available to you in the store so that you can purchase as normal. Here's where the early access part comes in. Once the event ends, the weapons will only be available to those that unlocked it during the event for a short period of time. So before everyone goes crazy on this, we want to clarify. It will be a short period of time. There's only a couple of weeks. But basically, the weapons will be there during the event. You unlock during the event. You get to keep them. If you prestige, though, I actually, Senya, maybe you can clarify, will prestiging remove the weapons?
No, it won't. If you are prestiging during the event, the weapon will stay there. And it also will stay during the whole early access period. So you can prestige how many times you want, and the weapon should stay there. It's kind of same. Some of our players are already like familiar with that system because we had somewhat similar during the like the Shadow event with the bow and arrow and throwing axes.
Yeah. And then after then, it will be like a short period of time, a couple of weeks. The weapons will then be released with a future update and will be available through the standard bloodline progression. So that will just be the main base weapons. Of course, the legendaries are for the event only. You look like you're about to say something, Senya.
No.
Okay, just making sure. But yeah, so that's the situation with the early access weapons. So like we've said, just to recap, you can unlock the weapons during the event, absolutely no problem. Once they're unlocked, you get to keep them, even if you prestige. Once the event finishes, they are no longer available except until a couple of weeks passes, and with a future update, the weapons will be released to everybody through the standard bloodline progression.
Yes,
Yeah.
and after they are fully released, they follow like the same rule as any other weapon in a game. So if you decide to prestige after that, then this weapon will be removed, and you will need to unlock that again from the bloodline progression.
Cool. Right. So that's it on the weapon side of things, anyway. And like I said, we'll go through the weapons a bit later with game design and talk about the new ones and show off all the pretty new legendaries that we have. But the next thing to discuss is the extra bonuses, and the first thing is our new event trait, which is called the Signee. So to read it off, increase dark sight by 3 meters and boost event points by 10%. An important part, which is nice that it's even in the actual description of the note. Please note, if you have a hunter with this trait after the end of the event, the trait will be removed and the trait points will be refunded. So, and as you see, it is for 10 upgrade points. So yeah, so the event trait. Where did this come from? Why was this a thought process for you guys? What was it that kind of made let's put an extra little something into it?
I I don't know, like the general idea behind that was that we'd like to, give another sources of extra event points so people can actually, choose between like different builds, like either they want to, uh, play more efficiently, or maybe they want to focus on collecting event points. So yeah, the idea here is just to give another option of how you can earn event points a little bit more, a bit more efficient.
Yeah, give an extra boost throughout the event for whatever hunter you can stick it onto.
Yeah,
Um,
hear me out. There's a story. So
okay.
when we were in the like process of designing and like on the very very early stage of the event, there was Saturday evening. Anton and I we were sitting and discussing like we need to add something on the game like directly on the gameplay side. What can boost and what can help people to make points, and then we're just like trade event trade. That should be event trade. And yeah, next time so we were keeping this idea like over the weekend, and on Monday we decided to verify this and still sound good. So we just decided to bring this to the event. I mean that's how this decision was made regarding the trade.
Cool. Good to know. But yeah, I see like chat is talking about it quite a lot. So yeah, we know like the 10 upgrade points. We see a lot of people saying it's a bit much, and we understand that, but it is one of those things that it is going to be refunded. So if it so happens that it's on a hunter that you intend on keeping for a while, once the event is over, you get those 10 points back. So you can use them for whatever it is you need for the health chunks or other traits or anything like that. So it's just keep that in mind. This is just an extra little thing, it's not needed, it's not necessary. You'll be able to progress through the event, pretty much no issues the same. But it's just a handy little extra thing if you've got some trait points to spare. So with that, then if we as we're talking about the extra bonuses, we'll go through the next part, which is the Traitor's Moon DLC Hunter event boost. So, Senja.
I can take over from here. As you know, together with the event, we are going to release Meridian Turncoat DLC.
Meridian
Correct.
Turncoat, yes, yeah. Meridian
Correct
Turncoat.
me. Correct my spelling if I'm wrong. And basically using the hunter from this DLC also will give you boost points. So basically you can just equip this hunter to the mission to bounty hunt or quick play, and you will get permanent bonus for event points and for the dark side. That's basically how it works.
Okay.
So
these are
but yes, the thing is that not only Turncoat, the only brand new hunter will provide this bonus, but also three previous already existing hunters that you can already even own. So you just need to equip them to the mission, go to the mission, and bonus will be automatically applied to this hunter. And bonus, so basically there's a Turncoat kit, the rat, and the hunter with which name I'm struggling always to pronounce, so please Rick do it for me.
Leronazair.
Thank you. So, and these four hunters will grant plus 10% of the event points boost and plus 3 meter of the dark side vision increase. So, and looking at the comments in the chat, they're like, "Oh, 3 meters for the trade. It's so little. It's not actually helping." But now imagine that you have the trade and you're playing with this hunter. So, and they're stacking between each other. So that's completely different topic there.
Oh yeah. So again, just an extra little thing. It's not something that you have to do, but so happen to have these hunters is definitely something that you can take advantage of. And again, just like the trade, just like everything else, really, it's just that extra little bonus to be able to help people to get through it. Maybe you don't have as much time. There could be multiple reasons, but it's just to give everybody an opportunity to be able to earn as much as they can during their time in the event. But yeah.
Yep. It's also worth to mention that all of these bonuses, they are stackable together. So to get maximum performance, you can play with this specific hunter, you can get a trait, and you can also put a Cherry's contract on top of that to get even more event points.
Cool. So, shall we go on to what I think might be the last thing we're going to discuss for the event?
Yes, but it's like exciting because it's bonuses that we mentioned at the start.
Yes, this would be the last extra bonus thing, I believe. Bear with me a second. Sorry, no, 2 seconds here. I've gone a bit lost. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Just trying to catch up on something here. But yeah, so the last thing that we want to talk about in the bonuses anyway then is the loyalty bonus.
Loyalty bonus. Yes. So we are calling this loyalty bonus now, but in the game it will be called Ardent Prize. So Mr. Cherry is going to thank you for participation in the event and grant you 800 of blood bonds if you will complete three conditions. So first of all, you need to complete the event and unlock all rewards in the event. We are not talking about bonus part, which will be converted to $100 just to complete the event progression. Second thing, if you will purchase the legendary choke bomb from the event store. And third, if you will purchase the Meridian Turcon DLC, Mr. Cherry will thank you with 800 blood bonds, which will be given back to you once event is over.
Cool. Yeah. So there it is. Just again, added extra little thing like everything else that we've gone through on these extra bonuses. So yeah, I mean, I don't really think there's much else to say about that, guys. One thing that somebody asked, and I think we should cover it while just we're talking, and we've touched on it a moment ago. The trait, the event trait, will this drop from meatheads? Does it have the potential to drop from them?
No. This trait won't be dropped from the meatheads, as well as it won't appear for these hunters that you purchase, no matter which hunters they are, like legendary or regular ones.
Okay, so it's not included in the
Yes.
random ones that are given. Okay, that's cool. So, I mean, that is pretty much it for the quick overview of the event itself. I mean, we will have a blog going out later today that will go into more detail on everything like this and also show off some of that. So make sure you check that out and follow our social channels to keep up to date with anything and everything that is going on. And with that, then I will wish you guys. I will first thank you very much for joining me and going through the event. I know it was a lot shorter this time around. But we've done these event streams quite a while, so it's kind of okay to just tear through it. We've covered the main points, and if there's any questions, by all means, people can ask them in the chat and in our Discord and on our socials as well. So Ksenia, Anton, thank you very much for joining me. I will bring you guys back a little bit later on for a bit of Q&A at the end. But for now, you guys get to relax, and I get to talk to Paul for a little bit.
Thank you, Rick.
Thank you for having
Bye,
us.
chat.
No worries. Great to have you.
See you soon.
And here we are with Paul Montgomery on the game design team, our junior tech designer. Paul, welcome to the stream again, mate. We've kind of updated your image a little bit. You're no longer the kid like you have been in previous streams, but unfortunately, I couldn't find that one today. So you're the black coat on stream today. So, Paul, tell us a little bit about yourself. I know you've been on stream before. I'm sure a lot of people remember you, but that's what you do.
Yeah, so hey everybody. Hey Rick. So I'm a junior technical designer, and I worked on the weapons for this event.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you've been the one kind of primarily working on all the brand new stuff that's coming.
Yeah, of course. I'm one part of the team that worked on the weapons. I'm not an artist or anything like that. So
of course, yes, of course.
Yeah.
But from the game design aspect, anyway.
Yes. Yeah.
Cool. Well, I mean, with that, I guess we should probably just kind of get into talking about the weapons. I know everyone's interested. We've been teasing them a little bit. We, had them on the test server recently as well for just to, check out a few things, make sure that everything was in working order. So we'll go back to the presentation here. And first things first, we're going to talk about the Winfield Slate.
Yeah.
So, Paul, take us through it.
So as Rick said, some of you may have already played with these weapons, but we obviously made some changes on the test server. So let's just go through what these new weapons are for the people who also didn't play. So
Yeah. Of
the
course.
Winfield 93 Slate is a new shotgun. It's a large slot, 6-round capacity pump action, similar to the Spectre. But this one also has a newer mechanism, so it was made slightly later in the period. So
Yeah, this Spectre was in like the 80s or something like that, if I
yeah,
remember
1880s.
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah, and then this one's the 93. So this one is a bit more modern, not in terms of our times, but in terms of their times, it was cutting edge, you could say, which makes it a bit kind of better in some ways and a little bit worse in other ways. So, for example, it's easier to like rack the slides, so we have a faster rate of fire on this one.
Right.
We also can allow for a faster reload.
Right.
This mainly because the Spectre doesn't allow you to top up the tube without opening the slide. So this one does allow that.
And that's the whole pop out of the cartridge thing as well. It's like, it's a little bit different from this, because I believe what we have on this one, and we'll go to the next page, is a top load ability built into this.
Yeah. So well, we can quickly just go through the ammo that we have. We have slug and penny shot, so that's the custom ammo we have. And here you can see on the screen the amounts that we give.
Yeah.
These were some values that we tweaked based on the test server feedback. So these are the new values. People didn't get to see those. But one very important thing about this weapon is it does not require bullet grubber because of this, for its ability to top up the tube without having to open the slide.
Right.
And another cool thing that it says on the screen there is that you can load one directly into the chamber, which only happens when it's empty.
Right.
But this makes for a quick recovery. If you're completely empty, you can just quickly put one in, cancel, and you've got one round to go if you're in the corner or something like that.
I believe we have a video of that in a moment, so we can show that in action, which is it's pretty cool. It does kind of make it very handy and kind of like, oh shit moments, That's the only way I can kind of put it, really, to be honest with you, So, but first off, we'll give everybody a look for those of you who haven't seen it already. So this is the Winfield 1893 Slate. I got two lovely shots of it there. So next we have the first video, and hopefully this plays without any issue. And this is just no traits, no nothing, just standard using the gun.
Yep.
Poor tower, it always gets destroyed.
Yeah, one day it'll take its revenge, I'm sure.
I'm sure it will.
So as you can see, the rate of fire is not significantly, but slightly faster than the Spectre.
Yeah.
And you got a glimpse there at the loading from the top of the chamber as well.
Yeah, I think I can go back to it once more. And so you can see it. I mean, straight off, it does feel much faster in your hands in comparison to the Spectre. So I think it's really cool. I've had a chance to use it. It's a lot of fun, really, to be honest with you. It's a great one to bring in. But we have another video here of using the, correct me if I'm wrong, the Iron Devastator trait.
Yes, that's the one.
So it would be the aim down sights trait.
It's worth noting, I recorded this video, and the rate of fire is technically faster here, but we kind of gauged the rate of fire here based on actually how fast you could use it, because you can shoot before the sights line up, but it's just not practical. So I kind of re-found my target here and shot again. So yeah,
cool. And then the last one then is this is actually it's repeating it again once more, because the presentation does whatever the hell it likes. It's got such a beefy sound to it. I really love it. I know it's probably not the most important thing, but like, to me, I love this the way the sound team design the sounds around the weapons are so it's beautiful. But then next up, so we have what you were saying about that kind of quick reload thing, where it's like, if you're completely empty, you can pop one in for a quick shot, and we'll play that there. So you see no ammo whatsoever. Pops one in, boom.
you can see here you can interrupt the charge that you would normally do, and then just straight up put one in, so you don't have to wait for it to charge and then put one in. Makes for a really quick, safety shot if you need to, if you're in trouble.
Yeah, that was cool. I've also just realized I was talking about the sound, and there is no sound playing from it. So I'm very sorry about that, folks. Yeah, just dev stream things, nothing to see here. But look, take my word for it. It sounds beautiful. Okay, it's really nice and punchy. It's probably the only way I can describe it. But sorry, Paul, you were saying.
Yeah, it's just the interesting thing we wanted to address with this one is that it is a lot newer in terms of technology compared to the Spectre. So that was one of the main design points that we wanted to show with this weapon. Of course, the main difference here with the Spectre is a long barrel, and this one's a medium barrel. So this one will perform a little bit worse in terms of effective range and damage and stuff like that. So it's one thing to keep in mind with this one as well.
Cool. Right. Awesome. Well, with that, I think we can probably move on to the next one then.
Yeah.
I think so. The next up is the Caldwell 92 New Army.
Yeah.
Take us through.
Yeah, this one is our new small slot compact ammo double action revolver with a 6-round capacity. Quite a mouthful there, but yeah.
Yeah, it is. But if you get it right, it just rolls off the tongue,
Yeah, exactly. So this one is most comparable to the Nagant Officer and also the Scotfield, and we can kind of say why in the next slide. So
yeah.
On to that one.
Yeah.
So carry on, Rick, sorry.
No, you're going ahead. I was just going to say next slide is up for you, so go on ahead.
Yeah. So in terms of the Scotfield, the cylinder is the most similar part, and how it's reloaded because it is a break open revolver. But this one, it's slightly different because it breaks to the left, so it rolls out to the side.
The Scotfield is a top break, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one uses, like it says there, an ejector to remove the used rounds. The two differences here is that this one is a manual ejector. The hunter actually has to move them themselves,
right?
Whereas the Scotfield kind of does it when the action is open, so you can kind of flick it open,
right?
But this one is just iconic revolver. I think in a lot of games you won't see the top break. You'll see always a slide out, swing out revolver, which makes some really cool animations.
Okay. And how then does it compare? We said it also has a comparison with the Nagant a bit. So where is that in terms of the gunplay? What we kind of expect to see there?
Yeah, so I mean the main thing is it's also a compact ammo, so it doesn't have as much stocking power as the Scotfield. So in terms of the Nagant, this one is also a double action, like we mentioned before, which means you don't need to cock the hammer manually. It will just automatically do it when you pull the trigger far enough. So that's where it's the closest, which means it can fire quite fast. In terms of comparing it to the Officer, it is a little bit slower in terms of rate of fire. But it's also made up for in the fact that the bullet on this gun was actually slightly bigger than the
You mean the real life?
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. So we wanted to make sure that we followed the real life kind of sizing here. We made a little bit more damage in terms of because of the bullet being slightly bigger.
Yeah.
And of course, another cool thing was that the real life bullet also just wasn't as fast. But this wasn't always just because of the bullet. The Nagant Officer was a bit newer, so it had this technology where it could seal the chamber closer to the barrel, which meant that it could a lot less speed was lost from that hole in between the two. So this one doesn't have that. So again, it's quite a bit slower, which is its main drawback compared to the Nagant.
Okay, cool. And then the ammo types.
Yeah, so nothing brand new here. Obviously, we already have these ones, but this one also has Dum Dum and FMJ. So FMJ is a good one here. Obviously, everyone knows that.
I mean, FMJ is awesome. Yeah, so definitely. So it is a nice one. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm quite partial to the Dum Dum ammo myself, just because I find it really funny to make people just bleed from distances. Same with the flechette. It's just I enjoy it. What can I say? I'm weird, but So and I mean, we see there it's like six in the chamber. 12 reserve. So yeah, we'll just show a couple of pictures of it then, and we have I think one video of it. You don't really need many more videos because it's not like the slate and working with traits or anything like that. But so here it is, and you can see it's beautiful Caldwell. And then this kind of shows you a little bit more that release for that we were talking about. Sorry, my mind is drawn a blank. But the
ejector.
the ejector,
the
that's
plunger.
it. Yeah, the little plunger. So and you'll see that in action anyway as well here in this video. So here we go through it.
Probably no sound again, but we
Most
can ignore
likely
that.
not. Most likely not. No sound. I have no idea how to make it sound. So I'm sorry, folks. You're gonna have to bear with us. Just wait until tomorrow or a couple of days after. You'll be able to, hear it yourself in all its glory. So here, I think you left it so that you could reload a couple of bullets at once and to show the
Yes.
sway as well.
Yeah, exactly. So I showed off the sway, like all of our semi-automatic pistols is increased the faster you fire. I also wanted to show off, like the Scotfield here, it has two versions of the reload animation. One when it's empty, and then one when it's not, it's partial.
I'll play it
Watch
again.
that one. Yeah, one more time. So the first reload will be from empty, and you'll see them use the plunger to empty them all out.
Very smooth. And then, yeah, like I said, you show off the sway as well from the rapid fire, get down to the one last bullet, and you'll see the single reload.
Yeah.
So definitely, by the looks of it anyway, it's definitely better to just unload it completely and then reload. At least just from the reload times, but it does look a lot speedier when it comes to using when it's just completely empty.
Yeah, same with the Scotfield. It was kind of the thing we wanted to show here. One other thing is also worth mentioning. We haven't got any videos of it, but of course this is a small slot pistol, so it's also dual wieldable, if that's a word.
Wieldable, yeah. It is now.
Yes,
it's dual wieldable. So yes, they can also be used for dual wield. Yes.
Yeah.
Cool. So with that, then we'll move on to the legendaries. So I've also actually included some of the normal ones. I showed some extra pictures of the brawler and the riposte just for people to see. So first off, we have the Scotfield Model 3 brawler. So this is one of the new additions. I think the first one you can unlock. I've put them in order, so it's the first unlock you get through the event. Then next up we have the Berthier riposte. And then to what we've just shown, the new army revolver, the Caldwell Model 92. And then next, the Slate shotgun, which we've shown. And then we move on to the event legendaries themselves. And so we have them in order here. So here is the Eclipse for the Scotfield Brawler. It's very, very beautiful. I have to say, I feel the art team have really outdone themselves once again with how awesome it is. Just the moon on the handle and everything. It's just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
And then the next is for the Model 92, which is Ochenkov's Heart. And then next up, we have the Somnus, the Winfield 93. And then, actually, I think there is another one after that, but I may have missed it. My apologies. Then we have the Cicada Choke Bomb that we showed earlier on. And then from the DLC, we have the Meridian Turncoat DLC. There is the Red Cask, and to end it with the Ambush and Crossfire. So those are all the unlocks. Well, almost all of them. I forgot one of them, unfortunately. And those are all the new weapons. So yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a few new weapons brought into the arsenal. At least for me personally, I always love it when we bring in new stuff, and to bring in 2 brand new weapons and as on top of bringing in variants is really cool. So what are you most excited for? I mean, I know you did a lot of work on it and you probably enjoy all of them, but what are you most excited for with these additions? Which one are you going to be rocking mostly?
I mean, I'm a fan of both the Spectre and the Officer, so both weapons will probably be I will use quite a bit. Specifically, I'll probably use Penny Shot.
Penny Shot.
I like Penny Shot a lot. But it's also really interesting for us to bring in 2 brand new base weapons and 2 legendaries for them at the same time, because we don't often do that. So it's nice to have a legendary kind of out of the gate for a new weapon, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree. It's really awesome. But Paul, I think that's really all. Unless you have anything else you'd like to add before I let you go.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I'll be around for the Q&A, but other than that, I think I'm good to go.
And yeah, cool, awesome. And remember, everyone, leave your questions in the chat. Our community managers, Ari and Violet, are currently keeping an eye, and they will try and grab as many as they can. We may not be able to answer everything, but we will at least try our best. Okay. So with that, Paul, thank you very much for joining me today. I will, like we said, we'll see you again for the Q&A, but as always, great to have you with us on the stream today. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Rick, and thanks for having me chat as well.
Okay, so I'm going to leave Paul up there for a second. So before I bring on our next and final guest, I'm actually when I say final, I did actually think there were going to be 2 other guests in my cats, but for some reason they decided to be quiet during the stream, so they're not here and bothering us in any way. So with that, we'll go with my last guest this evening. So today we're going to take a little bit of a dive into the story behind Traitor's Moon. We've had some of the narrative team on the stream before, but today we're going to have a completely new person to the stream, and that is Brie Williams, our narrative designer, the person who is writing most of the content behind Traitor's Moon and Mr. Shari. Brie, welcome. Great to have you on the stream. Thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you. Great to be here, and howdy chat. Good to see you all.
So, I mean, yeah, let's kind of get to it, really, to be honest with you. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Brie. Where are you from? How did you get into Crytek? How long you been here? Lay it out for us.
So I have been in Crytek since July of last year. I'm originally from the States, and I've moved to Germany to be closer to the team and to be able to not have to have weird sleep hours, because that was a mess before. I originally did film work, and then I saw the 2013 trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3, cried to my mom about it, obviously, and then decided that I wanted to work in games, and a lot of stumbling and falling, and somehow I'm here.
Awesome. Well, it's great to have you with us, and I have to say, we're not going to give too much away about the story, obviously, today, but I do have to say, I have read what you have written for this, and wow, just absolutely mind blown. And I have to as well comment, also really, really cool about Kingdom Hearts and having that reaction and that being your lead in, I mean, me personally, I've always been a huge fan of Kingdom Hearts. So to hear that, it's like, oh yeah, that's awesome. So, and super, super wholesome as well. So thank you for sharing that. And yeah, I mean, we're going to do a bit different. We have no presentation for this part. We're just going to have a bit of a chat because, to be honest with you, we do a lot with the story and the lore in Hunt, but I don't think we've ever really gone into this much detail. So I thought it was appropriate that for this stream, we kind of take a little bit to have a chat with one of the people behind the event. Now, I know we have a bunch of guys, a bunch of people, awesome, talented people on our narrative design team. But as you have been doing a lot of the stuff and helping us as well on the community team with some of our plans for the social media and everything like that, I thought I'd invite you on and we just have a little chat, talk and tease people about what's coming up in the Traitor's Moon event. So bear with me 1 second here now. So I think one of the first things we should probably get to, and it's something that's been asked in the chat since the moment it started, since the moment it was introduced to the game. Who the hell is Mr. Shari? Like, where did this guy just come from? Like, he's all of a sudden, he's this dude that's here and he's everywhere, but we don't know what's going on. So where's Shari come from? What's the deal with him?
So I am not allowed to say too much about where he comes from, but from a kind of peek behind the curtain perspective, for the Winter Solstice event, we wanted to bring in someone who would share the original contracts. And I was kind of trying to figure out who this person would be, and he actually started out as a very different person. The definition of the word sherry actually means someone who's reluctant to do something. So he was kind of
Okay.
going to be this like weird skittish guy who was just kind of trying to do his job. But as we move forward and we wanted to kind of develop his character more, I was like, what if he had a little bit more of an appeal? So I wanted to make him this kind of mysterious rich benefactor who
Hmm.
ended up turning out to be the administrator for the American Hunters Association. So he will, give you the contracts. He obviously gives you Dark Tribute, which is that really something for the American Hunters Association or not? Not sure, but he'll usually do all the clerical and paper tasks.
Okay, so more like administrator rather than kind of getting down and dirty with the rest of the hunters and getting his hands dirty with the grunts and the hives and everything like that. Okay, so I mean he's become like quite significant, and I think that this event he probably even becomes a little bit more significant to the AHA. So I mean, do you want to I don't, maybe you can't give us too much because obviously we don't want to spoil the story for you guys. We don't want to tell you everything that's going to happen. But it's just one thing we do know with the side of the community that really loves digging into our lore. They're always asking, "Who's Mr. Sherry? Who's this? Who's that? What's going to happen here? Who's what?" So we thought maybe give you guys a little bit of a treat, you know. So yeah, what's his significance at the moment?
Well, hmm, hmm, hmm. Well, we'll probably get into it a little bit more, but he is someone who knows what's happening in the bayou and wants to make a change. So
Okay.
he is here to help the AHA, help hunters in any way he can. And, like Dark Tribute,
Hmm.
he's doing some experiments to figure some things out.
Right. Okay. All right. All right. Well, look, we'll talk a bit more about that in a little bit anyway. I think if we go back through the lore, there's been a couple of other than Mr. Sherry, there's been two other mentions of things, and I mean obviously this event being Traitor's Moon, and I believe we had a mention of the moon as well in our previous event around the holidays. So the moon is something that's it seems to be a bit of a imagery that we're sticking with going here, and on top of that as well, we've also mentioned the sculptor once or twice. I think going back as far as the harvest at Halloween. So like, what's the deal with these two? What's like the sculptor? Can you give us much about the sculptor? The sculptor. I keep pronouncing it wrong. Sorry. Yeah, can you give us much about him or her or whatever it may be?
Yeah. So as I read the lore Discord for our channel, a lot of people have gotten this right that the sculptor is the main reason for the corruption that's happening in the bayou. He's the reason that the grunts are there, meatheads, etc., and basically plaguing everything that's happening. So he's a force to reckon with, but one that we haven't seen yet. And
Right.
again, that's all I can say.
Yeah. No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, look, that's probably more than I think we've said about the sculptor at any point. So, no, it's really cool. And what about the moon? So, like, I mean, like the moon itself is kind of, I mean, it flows throughout lore and history everywhere, really, to be honest with you. So, I mean, what significance is it having in Hunt at this point?
Yeah, you can probably guess that like narrative design team definitely has a thing for witchcraft and paganism and just learning about all that stuff. And through our research, we ended up seeing a lot of motifs of the moon, a lot of rituals revolving around the moon are for giving people power or for cleansing things and ridding things of evil spirits. So kind of now for this event where we're doing a sculptor versus moon thing where the sculptor has almost reflected back on the moon and reflected back on its power. So it's kind of twisting that in order to do again something that I can't exactly
Yeah.
explain right now.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, so essentially when people try and use that power again to either make themselves more powerful or cleanse themselves, it's having the opposite effect and twisting everything and turning everything to dust.
Hmm. Interesting, interesting. And so I mean, in that, like, so what events? The events in the bayou are clearly having an impact as well. I'm assuming on the moon based on all of this. So I mean, how much detail are you able to give on this? I mean, I'm sure I am sure the story that you unlock through the event does give a lot more detail on this. But I mean, if you can touch on it a bit, like how are the events in the bayou actually affecting the moon? And to the person in the chat that said nuke the moon, no, why would you do such a thing? So yeah.
No, please do not nuke the moon.
Yes.
If you ever see an option in game that says nuke moon, please, we ask you don't do it. But yeah, so a big thing is that the moon will affect how people act and behave, and it will definitely be something that intrigues Mr. Sherry himself. And seeing as he's already started with some rituals that a few of you have probably already participated in, he's going to continue his experiments and his work around paganism. So you should be sure to watch out for it.
Yeah, and like we said, the story, the 15 chapters, I think there's one for every rank that you unlock or every bracket that you come to in the event points list. So make sure that you actually read through this, guys. Like seriously, it is absolutely enthralling. And a moment I opened it, I had to stop reading it about halfway through at first, just because I was too busy. But I was like, I have to go back. I need to. What's going on? What's happening with this? What happened to this guy? Just like there's really a lot going on. So, like I said, it's like the deepest dive I think we've ever done into kind of any story and lore. And I mean, by reading it, it looks like, and obviously I got to see like how you guys were interacting a little bit with it in that kind of comments and the documents and everything like that, and to see how excited you were all getting about this. I mean, so like, what's it like with the team and kind of coming up with the ideas like this? I mean, what gives you inspiration? Like gives you and the other guys inspiration to come up with the stories that you have come up with so far? I mean, we've got like the Halloween story. I believe you were involved in that. The Christmas story. And possibly some others, and I'm sorry if I'm not mentioning them all correctly, but and Traitor's Moon as well, obviously. So tell us a little bit about the creative process with you guys. Like, how do you come up with this stuff? Where's your inspiration?
So a big running joke in the office is that more often than not on our floor, people can hear our maniacal laughter echoing through the hallway.
Yep.
So we
Can vouch for that. I'm on the same floor as you when I'm over in the office, so definitely can vouch for that. The maniacal laughing is on point, I have to say.
Yes, thank you. But yeah, so we usually like we'll kind of like give each other a look and be like, what if X was Y? And we kind of tumble in through there because we are all kind of huge nerds, which kind of comes with the territory, and we've have lots of obscure research that we've done. Literally, when I entered this company, they immediately taught me about the Kentucky meat shower, which, if you're watching, I welcome you to Google it. It's great. But we all come with our own areas of expertise and our own histories of things that we're interested in. So we'll take those, we'll kind of build off of each other, and then we'll kind of get a concrete outline and idea, and then go back to our respective areas, write things down, and then share with each other so that we can build everything up. We really enjoy collaborating with each other. I, not to brag, think I am like part of the best team in the company. No offense to anyone else.
I mean, I don't know about that. The community team's pretty damn awesome. So, but hey, look, we could each have our favorites. It's totally fine.
Maybe there's a bias. We'll have to have like a team versus team like brawl match to see who comes out on top. But
sounds good. Narrative versus CMs. And as Ari, one of our community managers says, community team rise up. So yeah, we're coming after you, narrative. We're not, of course, but yeah. So that's really, really cool. I mean, it's really good to get a kind of a bit of an insight. Now, I mean, I know we can't kind of go into all the ins and outs because we'll start giving away too much of the story of not just of Traitor's Moon, but of a bunch of things as well. So let's kind of let's take a bit of a step forward into kind of the plans, because like we've hinted, Mr. Sherry, he's not going anywhere. He's got some things that he's doing. Like I believe you mentioned experiments and stuff a little while ago. So, it seems that he's going to be a little bit more of a thing going forward in terms of story wise, at least, anyway, and not just the dude who gives us contracts. So, I mean, I'm almost certain you're not going to be able to give too much away, but can you give us any hints about what's going to come in with Shari? Is he going to be significant? Is this just a once off and we never talk about him again? What way is it going to work this way?
So, as a lot of people already know, we tend to have a lot of stories within our lore. We feel that all of Louisiana and especially New Orleans is big and there are lots of moving parts. So we tend to try and tell stories and then drop them. But one of the things that we really wanted to do this year, and especially with events, because the team has been so open to it, is that we want to tell a whole story in a year. So you're gonna have to deal with Mr. Cherry, not just with the features that include him, but also for the event as well. So I really hope you're ready to see all the mischief that he's ready to cause, even though he's just trying to do his best.
Well, I mean, me personally, I am excited. I'm very, very excited to see what comes with it. I think it's great that we've been elaborating on this. Like, I mean, I've been kind of ever since I saw the story, I've been singing narratives praises about it, and I will continue to do so because I just think it's so well written. And I mean, the narrative team, you guys, you kind of outdo yourselves pretty much every time you write something new. So, at least from me, thank you very much for the awesome lore and stories that you give us, you and your team give us. And I'm sure that many in the community feel the same. So thank you very much for having a bit of a chat. Like, we're not gonna go through much more than that because then we're just giving away the whole story, and we want you to play it so you read it yourself.
Yeah,
So
I hope you have fun.
yeah, I mean, I'm very much looking forward to it, and I'm sure a lot of people are as well. So make sure, guys, you let us know exactly how you're feeling about the story, and also as well, we're going to be doing some teases around it as well on our social media over the course of or over the duration of the event. So make sure you keep an eye. We've got some awesome artwork that has been done for these teases specifically by the person who creates our traits, Ina, as most of you probably are aware. So yeah, I mean, she's done such a fantastic job. It looks absolutely beautiful. So wow, I was thinking about showing off some of them here, but I didn't want to spoil them. I wanted to wait until we used them for the teaser. So should see the first one possibly over the weekend. And yeah, I'd like every quote with it is significant to the story and will tie in with some aspect as we go along. So yeah, Brie, thank you very, very much for joining me today and having a chat with us. It's been awesome to have you, and maybe next event stream we get to talk to you again about what else Mr. Shari is going to be up to. So I for one am very, very excited. So thank you very much, Brie. Appreciate your time. Great to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me, and thanks for everyone who's so excited about the lore in chat.
Yeah, chat. I've been seeing a lot of like "We love you, Brie" in the chat. So and thank you for sharing everything that you have shared. It's really, really awesome. So with that, I'm gonna just do a double check to make sure that everybody else is still here because we're going to move into the Q&A portion. So I would say if you all give a wave, but only some of you can wave. We didn't do an animation for Paul with someone waving, so we hopefully Paul is here. And let's kind of try and see if we've got any questions. Give us 2 seconds here now. So yeah, we answered the meathead from the signee. The trait doesn't drop from the meat. 2 seconds here now. Sorry, just trying to go through the chat. Is there any questions there you guys can see that you're interested? The hunt dollar prices. Do we have the hunt dollar prices for the weapons once they're unlocked, Paul?
Yeah, so the Winfield 93 Slate will be $300 and the new army will be $103.
Okay, cool. And what about the brawler and the riposte?
Don't have those to hand right this second. I can look it up. So if you come back to me one sec. Apologies.
No worries at all. No. So guys, remember we're doing a Q&A. If you have any questions, please pop them into chat. Our community managers and moderators are gathering them there. and we'll try and answer as many as we can. While Paul is checking that there, just to talk about the, again, I mentioned it at the start of the stream, but in case anyone missed it, the console sensitivity. So update 1.8 went out on consoles today, and there is currently a bug with the sensitivities, and it is something that we are working on, and we're hoping to have sorted as quickly as possible. Keep an eye on the social channels and the Discord for updates. We will post them there. So yeah, with that, then we have another question there. What do we have the ranks for the bloodline, these weapons when they're in the bloodline as well, for during and after the event, or I suppose during the event doesn't matter, but after the event, are you aware off the top of your head, Paul?
Yeah, I have it right here in front of me. Just 1 second. So the Caldwell 92. Just 1 second. Sorry.
No worries.
You must have missed them off the slides. So the 92 is available. Trying to find it. Actually, yeah, I can't see it right now.
Okay, no
Apologies,
worries.
but you can see it on the store and stuff like that. You can find out where they are.
And we'll make sure as well we can add it into patch notes when there are some for it.
Mhm.
So okay, cool. So daily caps for the event. Anton, Senya, are there any daily caps for the event?
No daily caps.
Daily caps. So you can go through it as quickly as you want. I believe that's something we turned off a couple of events ago, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe we had a cap. You're muted, Senya, I believe.
One event ago.
One event ago. Okay, fair enough. So not too far ago, but yeah, something we removed with the Christmas event. So there's no daily caps. You guys can progress as fast or as slow as you want through it, and you have plenty of time to get through it as well. So, so one question that keeps popping up. People keep asking about Billy. So, look, straight up, yes, Billy will be coming back this year. We're still working out on exactly how, but Billy definitely will be coming back this year. So we've said it in almost every stream, in almost every event stream or Twitch drop stream, pretty much all of them. Yes, we are going to be bringing Billy back. We know everybody wants Billy again, but yes, rest assured, he is definitely coming back. So then next up, Brie, one for you, just specifically about narrative design. How would one go about getting into a career of narrative design? I know you mentioned briefly what you did, but what would you have any recommendations for people who would like to start out in narrative based things?
I guess the big thing would be make sure that you're writing and make sure that you're putting your work out there. I know that there are a lot of narrative designers that will start in Twine and make their interactive stories and put them on Itch, etc. But build up your portfolio, make sure that you're still watching movies and reading books and getting lots of cool fodder for your stories, and put your work out there and apply as much as possible.
And would you recommend, say, like any kind of courses or anything like that people could do on the side as well that might help them? Or I mean, like any experience is always good no matter what position you're going for, but I'm sure, like with something when it comes to narrative, I'm sure there's probably a couple of courses. So do you know of anything that might be worthwhile looking in?
So there are definitely online courses that if you go to sites like Udemy, or if you're able to get access to, say, the GDC Vault, there are lots of those master classes that you can get into to learn, but it's about a balance and accessibility. If you don't have the means to take a course because of time or money, you can still get into narrative design. So don't let that limit yourself,
Cool. I just see a couple of little small questions there. Some like because we mentioned Billy, they've asked about the other ones as well. And I believe my understanding is yes, at some point that we should have many of the previous skins available at different times. We will, when it happens. Sorry, excuse me. When it happens, we will let you know. So be sure to keep an eye out. Another one I saw and has now quickly gone out of my head. The event runs for 3 weeks, so it's from the 24th of March until the 14th of April. And God, I can't believe I missed that question. It was like such a good one as well. Never mind. I'll have a look for some other ones. Yeah, we said about that. Just waiting for our see if our community managers can grab any others. So, somebody asked about a hunter. Sorry, actually. So this with this event, there is a DLC that includes a hunter, but there is no hunter unlocked through the event progression. The event progression is all the weapons and the weapon skins. So the hunter is the Meridian Turncoat part of the Meridian Turncoat DLC. The legendary choke bomb, time limited purchase like other event skins. I believe that is the case, Senya, yeah.
Yes, it will be available while event is running for 3 weeks in the event store.
Cool. Is there any other hunter we can buy with blood bonds in the event? Well, it's not an event specific one, but I believe Hail Mary should be available in the game since 1.8, and she is available for blood bonds. So not event specific, but yes, there is an option, and she is pretty much a badass, really. To be honest with you, it's the only way to put it, especially with the 2 new weapons that she comes with, the new legendary skins that she comes with as well. So the event boosts, are they shared with teammates? Anton, Senya?
No.
Oh. No, but it's worth to mention that while contracts are not sorry, it's about sharing. I was a bit distracted. I thought it was a question about stacking. So I wanted to mention that bonuses from the hunter, from the trade, and from the contract, they're stacking between each other, but contracts are not stacking between each other only in regard of the duration. So you can extend duration by the new contract. And bonuses are not shared within the teammates. And we covered this during the previous event, why we made this decision. So maybe worth to mention who missed it last time. So before, for those who remember in our previous event, boost was presented as a consumable, so that you actually need to put in your slot and was actually affected your performance in the game. So when you decided to pick the boost consumable instead of any other related gameplay consumable, of course, like it reflected on your performance in the game, and that's why it was worth to share this within the team. Now contract, they are living completely separately from the mission, and they're like living on the profile in the menu, and they do not affect in any way performance in the mission, and that's why one of the reason we made them not share it within the team.
Right, cool. I'm pretty certain we couldn't get a clearer answer than that, so I hope that does clarify it for anybody that is interested. So thank you for that, Senya. So yeah, I mean, I think like there's probably a lot of questions going through. So what we're probably going to do is we'll go through the chat, and what we'll try to do is maybe at some point we'll be able to maybe put out a blog or a video or something that maybe will be able to answer some questions. I do see a lot of questions coming up about the usual topics, hit reg and desync and everything like that, and what's coming up for our plans in the future. So make sure that you check out our most recent, our last dev stream, along with the blog and the video, YouTube video. So we did it in all 3 formats just to cover everyone who, some people will watch the stream and don't want to watch videos or don't want to read. So we tried to get it out there, and that gives a lot of information about what's coming up for the next 6 months. And yeah, we're going to be doing a lot more of them, a lot more developer deep dives, a lot more developer interviews and everything like that as we go and progress through the rest of this year. Our goal is we're going to be trying to be as transparent and as open as possible about our development process, and that's why with the dev streams and everything, that's what we try to endeavor to do all the time. Before we drop out though, the event, what time does it go live? Do we have a time?
4 p.m. Central European time, and Rick, please help me to convert it to the UTC.
Yeah, that would be 3 p.m. UTC. So 4 p.m. German time, Central Europe time, 3 p.m. UTC tomorrow, the 24th of March. So be there or be square, I guess. I don't know. I'm trying to think of something funny to say, and that came out. So, last thing as well, Brie, is there any place that people can go to kind of learn more about the hunt lore? I mean, we have like the Book of Weapons and everything like that, but I would think maybe our blog's probably the best place currently.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
obviously in-game Book of Weapons, Book of Monsters, and our blog, but we have plans. So
Plans. The plans. Oh, I like that. I like that. That sounds promising to me anyway. So with that, folks, I think we shall leave it. Again, we'll continue grabbing questions, and we will probably come back again after the stream and try to answer as many of them as we can in some threads.
Rick,
Yeah.
can I quickly jump there because I was a
course.
couple of questions and I really want to answer this question.
Then
There
go
was
for
like
it.
a
Go
couple
for
of
it.
people asking when we're going to be transparent about monetization because we promised this actually.
Yes. Yes.
But believe me or not, we wanted, but there was like very unfortunate circumstances like COVID, where like half of the team was sick,
Yeah.
and we basically like weren't able to prepare proper communication like in writing. And we want to actually do like we're still thinking on the format. Either it will be like talking interview, or maybe some stream, and also we need to put it in writing.
Yeah.
We keep it in mind. We do not deny our promises. We still want to be transparent. We still want to explain, but that's simply a simple reason that like we're living in quite unstable times right now.
Yeah.
And the reason was simple that yes, there was COVID and half of the team was sick, and we didn't have time to prepare this. But that's definitely what we are working on, and we are going to share as soon as possible.
Yes, definitely. Yes, you're right. Thank you for reminding me. Although I should have remembered this, seeing as though I'm the one that's writing the bloody thing. So yeah, that you are right on the mark there. Yes, we have not forgotten. That is something we are working on. And like Senya said, we're going to probably do videos or blogs or anything like that, just to give as much information as we can going forward. Yeah, some things got in the way. So COVID kicked her ass a little bit over the last couple of months, and like Ksenia said, we've had a lot of people out, myself included, and Benson included as well. So yeah, unfortunately, things like that do get in the way. But again, we have said that we are going to be a lot more transparent this year, and that is still true. That does not change. It's just things might take a little bit longer than we would expect. But we definitely will be giving you a lot more details on our plans for monetization and talk about some of the changes that happened over the course of the end of last year. So is there anything else? Any other questions that caught your eye, Senya, Anton, Paul? You've been very quiet through this Q&A apart from the bloodline stuff.
Well, I have the values here.
Yes, that would be great. Yeah.
So the Caldwell 92 unlock rank is 22, and the slate is 49.
Okay.
And the brawler, so the Scotfield brawler is $92, and the Berthier riposte is 370.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you very much. So I think with that, folks, we can leave it. It has been awesome chatting with you all. I would like a big thank you to all of my guests today. And unfortunately, we're missing our two new cat community managers who decided to sleep through the entire stream and not show up. I was a little bit disappointed in that. Slightly happy that they didn't start meowing and fighting, because everyone would have heard that over us. But with that, big thank you to Brie, Senya, Anton, Paul. Really appreciate you spending the time here to go through everything with us again for the event stream. As always, really, really awesome to have you with us. Thank you very much, all. Make sure to say goodbye to chat and everyone while I do an outro. Go on.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, chat.
Thank you, Rick. Thanks, chat.
Thank you.
thanks, everyone.
No worries. So that's it from us, folks. We're gonna roll out with one of the new songs. It's kind of a remix of one of the new songs that you will have heard on the Traitor's Moon trailer. And with that, we'll see you again next time. Take care. Have a wonderful evening.
Darkness, it's fear that drives your mind. You've been down there too long, rabbit in the mine. They take me to the gallows, all my years for what I've done. I've been down there too long, rabbits, time is out. And I called on the devil and I called on the divine. I'm gonna bring my sins to Jesus. Tell him 'twas a rabbit